Happy New Year, everybody. I had the idea of maybe do a best of. I don't think it's the best way to do my video for the end of the year. So I thought about something, and it's going to be my best top 5 discoveries of the year in hardware and software. And, well, and anything I like, basically. So this year I was really lucky to have a lot of companies share stuff with me, providing me with software and hardware to test them out, to review, to demo, to do the tutorials I'm putting online for you guys. And out of everything I tested, there's some stuff that just went like, oh, this is so cool. So let's go back and look at all the stuff that we did together. This year, hardware-wise, I played with the Novation Circuit. I played with the Novation Peak, the Novation Mono Station. I had a lot of Novation stuff. I had also ROLAND boutique stuff. I had D05. I had the TR08. I had SH01A. And the SE02 from ROLAND. All of these part of the boutique series, and the TR8S again. All of the stuff that was provided by ROLAND to test out and to demo and to learn and to show you off how it works. Also had the V-Moda headphones from ROLAND. And what else? Oh yeah, I tested out the SUBPAC. That was a cool thing to test also. And I tested out microphone even. So I never thought I would, but I did. And I have another pack of microphone I have to test very soon, of the test of wireless microphone coming up. Software base, I did play with a lot of software, mostly on iPad, and some on plugins on the Mac for Ableton Live. Let's go back and I'll tell you my top 5 hardware and software that I actually discovered this year. It doesn't mean that they were made this year. It means that this year I personally discovered them and like went, oh, this is fun. I like this. So, top 5. Hardware, no, software first. Let's go for software first. First of all, this year I learned about Beatmaker 3. You guys told me about Beatmaker 3. I tested it out. I still have to learn about it because it's a very powerful sequencer. But by default, for what I understand from it, but I still have to go deeper in it. But what I understand from it, it's more based to or target to people who like to play with samples. You know, like people who play with the MPC or the machine, or sampling it or playing back. And that's not my case. I'm a synth guy, so I'm less inclined into using that one by default. That's why I still go back to Gadget often. It was still a very big discovery for me because Beatmaker 3 is a really cool DAW. Then that was my top 5. Top number 4, I was really surprised and happy to see Synth 1, the free synth from Audio Kit, and it works, sounds good, and it's free. I think it's a real endeavor of love and passion. And I say thumb up to these guys because it's just a cool little free synth. So keep it up. Top 3. 3 would be for me. I know it's hard for me to say because I play with so many cool things. I would say Phase 84. Phase 84 sounds good. I like the performance mode in it. It really is fun. So it's a cool synth that I think I'm going to use more and more in the next project I'm going to work on. So, Phase 84. My number 2 discovery of this year was anything that Jim Audio did with Groove Writer 16, which uses Poison 202 synthesizer. But Groove Writer 16, come on guys, it just sounds wonderful. It sounds good. The whole thing, I mean, I honestly feel I could do something in it and just save, and the sound right there, it's already what I want. So I really like the synth. The DAW is just a cool one. Groove Writer 16, number 2 in my list for discoveries of this year. And my number one discovery of this year is basically anything that Sugar Bytes does on the iPad. Now, they all are different, and the one I really dig and had fun, and I came up with a song within like an hour, was EGOIST, or EGOIST. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It was just super fun, and honestly, I think that I know I'm going to go back to this one because it just sounds good, and it gives you new ideas to give second life to whatever you had already done in other synths. Really fun. EGOIST being a slicer, beatbox, and a synth, and a bizarre real-time effects, multi-effects sequencer. So really cool, really fun. And that's the one I'm going to go back to. It was a discovery for me this year, and it's just like is amazing. So these are my top 5 for discovery for synthesizers on the iPad. And most of the time it's because you told me about it. So thank you guys. Keep sending me new names too, so I test them out. So that was for software. Now for hardware, I tested a lot of things this year. Some of the stuff I bought, and I show you what I bought. Another thing that just people lend me, and I test it out and I tell you what it is. So let's go back. Number 5 from my top 5 discovery of this year for hardware. Top 5 is the V-Moda headphones. V-Moda headphones, they were given to me by Roland Canada. I had no clue that V-Moda existed. You see me using them all the time in my videos. I really love them. They're a little bit bassy on the result, but that's what we want. We like bass. But I know that how they sound with bass, so I know how to mix with them. But they're just like really nice. I use them almost every day at work or at home. It's just very, very nice, and it works. They're wireless and wired, so Bluetooth or not, depending what you want. And these are just great headphones. On the top of that, I have to have my own custom Nu-Trix logo coming soon. Okay, number 4. Number 4 for well, I'm not sure it's number 4. I'm even looking at my list. I'm not even sure if it's number 4 because I've been playing. No, I would change my list right away and say, okay, my number 4 would be between Novation Monostation and Novation Peak. The Peak is a cool polyphonic synth, really fun to play with. A lot of sounds you can come out without. It's just really powerful. So yeah, it was a fun thing to do. And I would say that at the same level as the Peak you have in my discovery list, we have the Monostation circuit. And it has everything you like about the circuit, which is just a fun thing to play with, and it's a real analog monophonic synth. And it came up with the idea of using paraphonic synth, so that really is a very powerful piece of gear. And what's fun about the Monostation is just fun to play. You know, the playability, the instant gratification that you get out of the Monostation circuit is amazing. Everything's on it. You've got the sequencer, you've got the sound, done. And it's really fun. So I have a hard time where to place it, but I would put it at 4 as my discovery of the year with the Peak, because the two of them were really, really fun to play with. So now number 3 was the Roland SE02. Now I had personally a Studio Electronics SE1 for a lot of years, probably 15 years. And it was a great synth to play with. It was basically a Moog rack mount, a mini Moog rack mount. And the SE02 is made by Roland, but hardware-wise, made by Studio Electronics. So the sound is amazing. And I still love, you know, I had so much fun just listening to the sound coming out of that box. I'm still fighting with myself today to buy one because it sounds nice, but I already have monophonic synthesizers, but I know they don't all sound the same. But still, I'm going to go to the LFO. I'm going to change the rate. this is just, this is so fun. It's just a massive sound. And this is just 2 oscillators just with the pulse width modulation. So that's why we love pulse width. So it was really a great synth to play with. So the SE02 from Roland and Studio Electronics, it's at my number 3 of discovery this year. My number two was something I never expected. Number 2 was something that a friend of mine, Dan from work, Dan Smith, thank you Dan, lent me, is SUBPAC. And the SUBPAC is just it's a vest you can actually wear. You've got like you're wearing a subwoofer in your back, basically, or you can have it on your seat. And basically for me, this was a turning point, saying that in a couple of years, a lot of music that don't need the 3D depth of acoustics, like electronic music per se, that's going to be the best next thing to having a real sub in your room. If you don't have the space for a sub, if you don't have the room that sounds good, has been equalized, treated and all that stuff, most people don't have, well, a good pair of headphones with a SUBPAC, you'll have a great mix. So honestly, that for me is something is still going to be on my list in the next year, because I want to buy one. I'm still waiting for some of the changes in the connectors. I still find the connectors to be a little bit too fragile, I would say. But it's still, it is a secret weapon for mixing electronic music. You have your bass in your bones. It is amazing. So SUBPAC for me was a number 2 discovery of this year. And my number 1 discovery of this year, you know me, this, a lot of my videos is about the circuit, and the circuit, I first thought it was a toy. And honestly, today is still one of my default device I turn on first and I turn off last, because I play with this. It is just so fun. And again, the instant gratification factor of this is amazing. But the fact that you can go in depth if needed, and I'll have more videos about that very soon. The workflow, the way you can work with this, the fact that you can put your own samples, the fact that you have 2 full Nova synth in this thing is amazing. So this is my best discovery of the year for hardware devices for making music. So that's it, guys. These are my top 5 discovery for hardware and top 5 discovery for software. I hope this, I hope you just have fun. And I tell you, have a very wonderful year 2019. To a lot of new videos for the next years. Cheers.